Hello and howdy there, everyone. A couple days ago, I watched for the second time Bronson, and I really enjoyed it. Again, this is my second viewing. I watched it a few years ago. I believe you can find my original review here on Hefty Reviews somewhere. I watched it again for two main reasons. The first being the gentleman here on the disc is Mr. Tom Hardy. He's had a ginormous year this year. He played Bane in The Dark Knight Rises. When they came out with the cast of The Dark Knight Rises, and I saw that Tom Hardy was going to be Bane, I thought, perfect. Absolutely perfect. And the reason I said perfect and thought perfect is because I had seen Bronson, and I knew what he was capable of. So I really just wanted to revisit his performance. If you are a fan of Tom Hardy, I think he's had 4 films this year. If it wasn't 4 films, it was 3 films. But anyway, 3 major motion pictures in a year, and I really think it's 4. One of them being The Dark Knight Rises. That's pretty damn good. And if you'd like to know why he has a career, and will continue to have a career, please rent this film, Bronson. The second reason I wanted to watch this film is because it's written and directed by Nicholas Winding Refn. I'm not sure if I'm saying his name correctly. I think there's a silent F in his last name. I believe it's Wren. Nicholas Winding Refn wrote and directed one of my favorite films from last year, Drive, the Ryan Gosling odd avant-garde stare off into space while listening to 80s techno retro pop. I thought it was an amazing film. I've wanted to revisit all of Winding's films since, and I'm trying to, though they are not easy to come by. But so far, in fact, Bronson and Drive are the only 2 Winding films I've seen. I've had Valhalla Rising, the film he made in between Bronson and Drive, on my blockbuster queue forever, and it has always been on very long wait. So apparently it's going to be a very long time until I can ever see Valhalla Rising. And I'm really disappointed because I had the opportunity to see that in the theater, and I did not take the chance. So I regret that. Winding is mostly known for, I guess, the Pusher trilogy, which I've never seen, but he did the entire Pusher trilogy, and the other films that I've mentioned. I think he's got a really unique style. He's got a unique voice. I think he's one of our most important young filmmakers. I think he's pretty damn uncompromising. I think I can just see the evolution of his filmmaking from Bronson to Drive. They explore similar themes. Definitely are shot similarly. They have many similarities. Bronson is about this fella right here. He's self-advertised as Britain's most violent prisoner. He's basically a lifelong career criminal. I believe he went into jail for the first time at the age of 17, and he's pretty much been in jail ever since. He actually got out of jail because he went through like the hierarchy. He started out in, just jail, and then went to, a maximum security prison, and then the maximum security prison couldn't hold him, or not hold him, he never escaped, he just ruled, so I would say no maximum security prison could contain him, at least his ego and his ambition. and all he wants is to be a celebrity. Well, I wouldn't dare to tell you what he wants, but it seems all he wants is to be, the most famous prisoner. So he gets sent to an insane asylum, and then the insane asylum doesn't know what to do with him, so they just put him back out on the streets. So he's he's released back into the world because the prison system has no idea what to do with him. So he does get out of prison eventually, but then it's never really discussed, but a matter of months go by, and he's back in prison for all intents and purposes the rest of his life. The film doesn't really end on an uplifting note, so I would have to say that he's still in prison. It is a true story. That's the first thing you see in the film. Is the film is based on a true story, and it's his life, and what a life. All of the acting is really great. The only name I can really tell you is Tom Hardy, and he's just mesmerizing. He's magnetic. Just can't take your eyes off of him, basically. Just is on fire. Lights up the screen. He's really, really intense and really good in this film. Again, if you want to know why Tom Hardy has a career and will continue to have a career, go back to Bronson. The style for Winding, I think, is already there. He's very, at least this film is, and I didn't notice so much with Drive, but he's very Kubrickian. I really found a lot of similarities to Clockwork Orange while watching this. I mean, it is a prison film, so you're going to think of other prison films while you watch it, but I couldn't help but think about Clockwork Orange while watching it. Every shot, is set up. It looks like it's well composed. It looks like a painting. It's atmospheric and ultimately gorgeous. The camera doesn't move too much. He basically stands in one location, and even when it does move, usually the camera motion is just like a rotating, as if it's like rotating on a tripod of some sort. But usually the camera is stationary, and the shot expertly and gorgeously composed, and then the action, just takes place within that frame. The score, I mean, if you've seen the movie Drive and you think about it, you'll probably think, well, wow, that was a weird movie. You'll probably just, at least I always go back into the intense stares of Ryan Gosling. I think of his, stare off into space, what is he thinking moments, much more memorable than, Albert Brooks, and Albert Brooks was awesome in that film. Also, what you probably think of is the score, that 80s retro, new wave-ish kind of feel. Here it's kind of mixed. There is that in Bronson, and I was trying to figure out, because it's pretty much mixed. It's pretty much split 50-50 between that new wave retro feel and just old classical standards. And it seemed like when he was in his element, when he was king of the castle, it was classical music blaring, classical music. And when he was out in the world, if he was ever, unsure of himself or in pain, it would switch to this synthy, pop. I just noticed there was two distinct styles of music in this film. I think that, again, I've only seen two of his films, but I think Winding definitely has this unique and deep relationship with music, and I think it really helps him to express his art more. I gave my initial viewing, I believe, of this film an 8 a few years ago. I will stick by that. I mean, the performance from Tom Hardy is just enough. Again, it's balls out. In some cases, literally, he does hang dong. Many points during this film. It's just he lets go. He lets go, and I have to admire that. And I will watch this film many more times, probably over the course of my life, and I will do it so I can, appreciate Tom Hardy's performance. So I think just that performance alone pretty much gives the film an 8 for me. Though again, it is gorgeously shot, very moody, atmospheric, runs pretty smoothly. It's pretty much a 90-minute film, and I didn't get... Well, I mean, I can tell you that I finally checked the timer at around 70 minutes. I was like, how much longer do I have here? And that was around 70 minutes. So maybe it does, drag a little bit. Again, you're kind of watching this story repeat itself. There's this, guy, he's in prison. He acts out. He gets put in solitary confinement. He acts out again, goes back. Shows that no one can control him, and yeah, and so that's basically, maybe a tad monotonous, but still very good, very good. What else? I think that's pretty much it. I want to say that if you liked him as Bane, and have, really liked Tom Hardy, period, you've got to go see this film. Again, as soon as I saw that he was going to play Bane, I was just excited, because I knew that he was perfect for the role. So I'll give Bronson an 8. I've got to run, and I enjoyed watching it for a second time. So thank you very much. Bye-bye.